Hi sir, I am S. Madhu. Today I am going to give the video presentation about primary versus secondary groups, difference and examples. Going to the top. Introduction to groups. Groups are essential elements of social structure and interaction. These can be categorized into two types. One is primary group and second one is secondary group. In primary group, it consists of initiate personal and informal relationships, as well as secondary groups. It consists of impersonal, formal, distant relationship. In primary group, these uh, group consist long-term and sometimes lifelong groups. We develop our self-identity or who we are and the family members, close friends. And in secondary group, these are short-term and temporary. We meet our lifelong partners through these work, school, associations, etc. Definition of primary groups. Primary groups are categorized by close personal relationship. These are typically small in size and involve face-to-face interactions. Family and close friends are common examples of primary groups. Characteristics of a primary groups. Primary groups provide emotional support and a sense of belonging. Members often share deep personal connections and mutual care. The relationships in primary group are usually long lasting and durable. Examples of a primary group. Family units are the most common example of a primary group, and also close friends often fall into the category of a primary group. Peers groups in childhood can also serve as primary groups during development. And definition of the secondary group. Secondary groups are a larger and more impersonal than primary groups. They are usually organized around a specific goals and activities. Example of secondary groups include workplace, clubs, and organizations. Uh, for example, workplace means we can take an example of a software organization, software engineering uh, companies. They have their own workplaces and they have groups to work through the organizational goals. And characteristics of a secondary group. Secondary groups focus on achieving specific objective rather than personal relationship. Interactions tend to be formal and less emotion involved. For example, in software engineering companies or IT companies, they work together like a group, like a team, to achieve the some goals and to achieve organizational goals and development for the organization they work. And membership may temporary and based on a situational need rather than the personal ties. Examples of secondary groups. A workplace team formed to complete a project is a secondary group. Professional associations and clubs present typical secondary groups. Online communities are social media groups also exemplify secondary group dynamics. Difference between secondary and primary groups. Primary groups are initiate and personal, while secondary groups are more formal and goal oriented. The emotional connections in primary groups is strong, whereas secondary groups lack this depth. Membership duration varies with the primary groups being more stable than secondary groups. Importance of understanding groups. Recognizing the differences between primary and secondary groups aids in social analysis. It enhances communication and interaction strategies in various settings. Understanding these groups can improve personal relationships and professional dynamics. And the conclusion, primary and secondary groups plays a distinct roles in a social life. Each type of group fulfills different emotional and functional needs. Acknowledgement these differences enriches our understanding of human interactions. Thank you.